Hello, my name is Anjani Segrist, and today I'm reading the astrology report for the upcoming new moon that we're having on the 23rd of June, and the exact time of that is 7:30 p.m. Along with this new moon reading, I am going to touch base on the summer solstice that was exact yesterday on the 20th of June, and the exact time of that was 9:24 p.m. So we'll start off with that. So you can see the geometry that's sort of pointed out here. This shape is known as a trine, and this is not a true trine because there's not a planet anchoring this portion over here in Leo. What is over here is the North Node, and Vesta is there, and a lot of astrology people don't talk about Vesta. And Vesta is not really the one anchoring the trine. So this is the North Node, which indicates a sort of destiny point, something that we're moving toward. So I'm going to talk about it anyway for this solstice reading because I found this to be interesting when looking at the new moon that's upcoming and the solstice. There's sort of the way I look at these charts is they're showing us, this is the new moon, a sort of blueprint or a set of instructions, something to use as we're moving forward in our own personal journeys. Because as each one of us is experiencing our human life, we are collectively evolving. So the chart is really a tool to help us understand how to engage our own personal energy with the collective energy. So when I'm looking at the solstice here, the first thing is, the solstice is when the sun is at 0 degrees Cancer. Cancer being known as a cardinal sign, or what is the first. Cancer is the householders. The way that we are setting our structure in regards to families, home life, the homes and the children kind of thing. Also, we like to think about the emotionality when it is associated with Cancer. There is an emotional aspect to it. When the solstice hit yesterday, the thing that I was really feeling into was my physical body. I had this urge to make my physical body more stable, more structured. I wanted to lift weights and work out. And also, my good friend who we sometimes do videos together, his name is Eduardo. He actually started working out also, just spontaneously woke up this morning and started lifting weights and everything. So looking at the way that you set up your home, whether it is your physical home, like your address, or your physical body, which is your soul's address in a way. So the solstice is the starting point, and there's a 3-day stand still of the sun where it's going to be sort of not changing so much. Its position will be the same, more or less. So putting all those features together, the sun, the way that you are illuminated, what illuminates you. Something that came up also in looking at the sun and the standstill was shadows. The way that I have related to shadow before had to do with, like it was something dark within me, a mysterious thing, an internal darkness, something that is like devilish in a way or negative. And then the light being the positive, the sun, the part of me that is like, light. So what came up from that was in relationship to the solstice, that there is really no darkness. The way that I saw the words and the way that I wrote the words down in my writing was that the only darkness that exists is from light that's being occluded. So if you think about your own shadow, it really is you just blocking the light. and then this other thing shows up, So starting to look at that within yourself, where you have sort of defined some shadow material, you're doing your shadow work, like looking at that as light that is being occluded. So what is it that is occluding you? I did a video a few months ago called 3 Steps to Removing Emotional Blockages. And this whole thing with shadow and blocks go directly together. So as part of this whole summer solstice, I wanted to bring some light to the shadow, letting your own inner sun, being your heart, the central sun, let that shine. And, in your meditation with your eyes closed, you can just imagine that sun illuminating everything. There'll be some things that you're not ready to see, and that is fine. That is fine. Just know that all is light. Everything is light. Everything is made up of light particles. And, don't get too hung up on the shadow. Honor the shadow. Of course, it is a very valid part of our experience. And when, things come up that you're not ready to deal with, that's fine too. There's no pressure. So that's the summer solstice. The thing I wanted to mention about this trine with a north node, this being our destiny point, what we're moving toward, and that's over here in Leo for the year. So showing up, that's been another big theme. How are you showing up? Getting up on the stage of your life, being on the center stage of your life. And then over here, Saturn is anchored in Sagittarius. So this having to do with the way you set your structure and form. Saturn is all about structure and form, and it's over here in Sagittarius. So what this is saying to me is really your spiritual structure and form. You can't build a very sturdy physical body or anything physical without a sturdy, unseen essence, So your spirituality during, at least for this phase of your life, take some time to invest in your spiritual development. At least start to ask the questions that have to do with your own unseen material. The unseen being the spiritual, it's not necessarily tangible. So something I was working with earlier, I think it was last month actually, was really, I put it into a form that my spirituality and my work and my family life, like these are not separate. When I was growing up in church, it was like Sunday was the day to do your spirituality thing. So we would go to church on Sunday, and then Wednesdays, and then it was time to do your prayers. And so, well, I had my own. It wasn't like my family was doing that. I had my own kind of structure around that. But now what I'm really focusing on is bringing all of it, like bringing all of me to all parts of my life. So here's Saturn anchored in Sagittarius. And of course, this is a lot more than what I'm, my interpretation and what I'm saying at this moment might be completely different. The next time I talk about Saturn and the next time I talk about Sagittarius, it's just for this trine, what I'm speaking on right now. So here we have Uranus in Aries. Uranus shows us about our willingness to be radical change agents, being willing to have your assemblage point shifted and changed. And that's being anchored in Aries, which is, the fight, the warrioress type of energy. So when I'm looking at this whole trine for the solstice, where is your soul's direction, your destiny point going toward? And looking at structure and form based around spirituality. And your ability to change, be a radical agent of change in a fierce way, and bringing that all together in your destiny. So we have the new moon I'm actually going to stop this video and start here separately. So thank you for watching this far. So check out the next video, which is going to be titled Cancer New Moon. Thank you so much. I look forward to connecting with you soon.